Hello everybody, Janet Urban here, founder of Friends in Film. Welcome to our podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to give you insights that you will not learn anywhere, not in film school, not online, not from anybody, even people on film sets will not know what I'm teaching you because we have studied how to go very fast into the film industry and create a career out of it. And that is what this podcast is about, and that is what the A-List program is about, which is our main flagship program that all these people all over the world are doing to work in the film industry. So enjoy today's podcast, and thank you so much for listening. Okay, let me give you the self-coaching model. What we do is we take whatever situation there is, whatever we're thinking about, and we pull the facts out. We make it factual. We take the emotion out. We look at what are the facts of the situation, basically. So that's the circumstance. Then we've got our thoughts about the circumstance. And then we have our thoughts give us our feelings, but our emotions. Same thing. But for the model, it's feelings. Emotions is the same thing. How you feel. How you think makes you feel a certain way. Like, this is hard, makes you feel like a little bit of stress. Or it was hard at first, makes you feel like, I don't know, a little unsure, right? Whatever feeling you are feeling, it's coming from your thought. And then feelings are so important. And most of us are not even thinking about feelings, but thank goodness we're all creatives here because we automatically are always thinking about when I'm writing, how is this character feeling? When I'm performing, how am I feeling? What's my motivation? How you're feeling is how everybody is getting your vibe. So if you're feeling love, everybody's going to be getting that vibe on set. If you're feeling scared, everybody's going to be getting that vibe. If you're feeling contribution, they'll get that vibe. If you're feeling motivation, hey, I'm motivated. Let's get this thing done. Let's do this thing. And you're feeling a little playful, then people will feel that vibe. So if you want to feel a certain way, what do you need to do? You need to think thoughts that make you have that feeling. So if you want to feel playful on set, you're thinking thoughts that make you feel playful. Like, I love these people. Like, this is so easy to be in this environment and create. So thoughts create feelings. You can create any feeling that you want simply by thinking a thought that makes you feel that. This is a superpower. This is a game changer. Do you realize how you have the keys to the kingdom if you can change your thoughts and have any result happen? Well, I haven't finished the model, so let me finish it so that we see the whole thing. So thoughts create feelings, and that's amazing. This is your power. This is your fuel, because from your feelings, that impacts your actions. So this is how you are being out in the world. This is what you do in your mind. This is what you do physically. This is what you don't do. It's coming from your feelings or your emotions. Okay, feelings produce your actions, and then from your actions, that's what gives us the results or a result. So ultimately, your thoughts create your results. Your thinking is always creating your results. So if you have a lot of negative thoughts, then you're going to be producing a lot of negative results. If you have a lot of negative thoughts, like this is hard, then I'm going to feel despair or scared, whatever it is. But you look at you really do want to look for. What emotion am I feeling in my body when I think that thought? You don't want to just pick one. Like, oh, this sounds good. No, you actually want to look inside. When I'm thinking, we stood up to dance. I don't know, this is hard. Okay, I'm getting out of my comfort zone. Okay, so the circumstance was I stood up to dance. That's factual. In a court of law, everybody would say, yep, stood up to dance. There's no interpretation of it. It's just a fact. I stood up to dance. My thought was, oh, I'm getting out of my comfort zone. This is hard. Or just say, this is a little bit hard. And then the feeling, okay, this is a little bit hard. What was the feeling? I'm not a confident dancer. There's a thought. And that thought is attached to your identity. So now it's a belief, because it's a thought that you've thought many times. You think it's true, but it's just a thought, one of your 60,000 in a day. It's okay. There's no good or bad thoughts. It's just a thought, just something to notice. It's just awareness. Because when we think, I'm not a good dancer, we just want to start to look at all of our thoughts. Instead of thinking the thoughts automatically and saying, well, this is who I am and this is what I've got. Oh, and this big goal in the film industry seems like so big, like I hope I can get to it. Another thought. When you're not able to have awareness over seeing your thoughts, then whatever you think is true. Well, whatever you think is true. And that's why we want to become aware of our thoughts and choose new thoughts so that we can make our way to where we want to go. We can make our way to where we want to go with our thinking. Because when you stand in you being a very successful director, a very successful actor, you stand in that, you've made it, you've done it. In 3 years, you're working as an actor all the time. Everybody knows you. You're in multiple places. As a filmmaker, your projects are out there and you're using the mothership, which is feature films, MTV, Netflix. That's the mothership. But what's exciting is your projects. They're both exciting, right? So in 3 years, you are working on the mothership all the time and you're becoming known for your ideas and your stories. And you've got your projects out there and you're collaborating with people. Not like, oh my gosh, you're way up here and I'm down here. No, you are up here with other people. This is who you are. So you're going to have different thoughts than you have today. You're going to have different feelings than you have today. What scares you today when you are now working on sets and have this career, that's not going to scare you because you're like, why would that scare me? I'm already doing it. How you go fast is you take on the thoughts and the feelings, and then these will produce the actions, and that will give you the result. If you want to go fast, you become aware of your thoughts and start to shift them and change them and create new ones that you've never had before to get a different result. And that's how it works when you have awareness. That's why we're able to go so fast. That's why you see friends and film people go so fast, where everybody else is stuck in like, I'm a production assistant and nobody wants to let me into the departments. Oh, that could seem very true. That could feel so true, especially when you talk to people or you're like, yeah, they're not going to tell me anything. They think I'm trying to take their jobs. They're like a close-knit, like clique. If you think that, you're going to feel outside. Your actions are going to be hesitant to talk to people, go in your head when you talk to people, judge what you say to them, judge them, and spin in your mind and beat yourself up and have more negative thoughts. So that will come from this feeling of being outside. And the result will be is that you will keep yourself outside. You'll keep yourself going slow, coming from the thought, it's too hard to get in, or they don't want to let me in. Your thoughts create your results. Can you see it? It's amazing. But nobody really teaches this for the film industry, which is what I am doing. And I know this is the fuel. Like, you got my strategies. I make it so easy for you guys to work in this business. This program is so easy. Now, this is my thought. You want to take that thought on too. But it is. It is so easy because we just start with the easiest jobs in the world, similar to set jobs. I mean, these people are dying for you to show up. You you work on a wedding or catering with this great attitude. They're like, oh my God, yes, are you available next? Once they meet you, they just want you again and again and again. And so then you work, you build up your tasks, you also start get on shoots, you get on sets, you build up your magic list, you know the film industry, you start finding things, opportunities, and then pretty soon you're working on film sets and you start turning down that similar to set jobs, but you use them for what you need for the time. And they're so easy to get. And then once you get on sets, you are a superstar, you know what to do. You connect well with people, you get out of your head and you talk to people and you have love and connection with them and you're playful with them and you take responsibility. And you, even though you might be afraid, you still go out there and you try and you want to help other people and you're thinking about their careers and you're interested in the departments. Oh my gosh. Everybody's like, I love her. I love him. I love them. Put them in the phones. And then you get called again and again and again. And then what this does with this thinking, You expect to be successful. You expect people to invite you in. You expect to work. And then that brings more work, more people, more opportunities, more everything, because this is coming from your thinking, from your expectations. You think it's easy. You feel free. You take actions out there. You can just do everything Janet says. Just going to do it, not think about it, not second guess it. Let's just go do it. I can always turn the work down. If I get too much work coming in, I'll just turn it down. No big deal. I love being in demand. And I want to experience being in demand. And I want you to experience being in demand. So that's why we do similar to set jobs as well. We get so many coming in. We're like, okay, nope, not available for that one. Oh, I might be available for that one. And people are like, who is this person? I love this person. So we just do that the first month. No big deal. It's easy, makes us feel excited, makes us go out there with this freedom and motivation and belief that we can create whatever we want. And then we get the result of people calling us all the time for these similar to set jobs. And now this feeds our thought that, hey, I did it here, I can do it in film now. I already got a bunch of people calling me, and this is very similar. I'm doing the same thing. In fact, I'm even sometimes getting hired as a production assistant for these events. I'm already doing it. I'm working for major brands that they work with in the film industry all the time. It's a small step. So thoughts create the result.
I was wondering if it's a problem if, like, I'm an introverted person. Like, do you need to be really extroverted to make it in this industry?
Well, I think you guys might be surprised to know that I'm also introverted. So I love it, and I do love it. And then I also love being by myself. And I think that in the film industry, it's mostly introverts. I think artists are mostly introverts. So we get a lot of our energy by being by ourselves and creating and thinking and writing and performing. And yes, we can go and be with people, but we have to work on our minds when we do that. So we have to take the focus off of ourselves and think like, oh, I'm not good with people. That thought, what's a thought you have about I'm an introvert?
I could work a crowd, but it's not my ideal place to be.
I think that it's a great thing to have the ability, to create the ability in your thinking, to be able to be okay in any environment, doing any kind of job. Like, what do you want to do in the business? What do you want to do?
Direct.
Perfect. So if you want to direct, would it be helpful for you to be able to be comfortable, created by your own thinking, in any environment with anybody and feel good and know, hey, I am good. I'm in my element. Would that be helpful? Would that be actually important?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just train it now. Yeah. Just train that wiring now. All it is wiring. It's just where our brains are just like, we're just wired because we haven't ever thought about this stuff before. We're just like, I am who I am. And I hope I can make it in the film industry with who I am and how I think. And you can change who you are simply by your thinking, because actually you feel alive when you're growing. And that's what new thoughts are. That's growth, right? If you're like, yeah, I'd love to be a director, but I'm a little bit concerned about being an introvert, and I just find that I do better by myself, and I have my best ideas by myself and with people, or whatever the thought process is. So that's what it is today. That's Fatima today. Not having had all the experiences yet in the film industry, and also not having started the process of looking at your thoughts and seeing, do I want to keep these around? And all a thought is it's just a wiring. It's like a bloop. It's just like, oh, I don't even question this. It's like that. This is true. This is true. It's just like a wiring. So, but if what we're capable of is only our thoughts that we have in our head today, then it will feel difficult to create this big, amazing life, because you haven't had all of those thoughts yet, all of that thinking, all of that emotion, all of those results yet. So what we will do in the self-coaching training is start to look at our thoughts, write them down on a sheet of paper, and then you'll see this is not even me. This is just thoughts that my brain produced. So these thoughts came from my brain. Yeah, so that part is me, but I'm seeing that they're thoughts that my brain produced. Do I want to keep them around or not? Are they really even all true? I mean, 60,000 thoughts in a day. Like you can have, what a belief is where you've had a thought like over and over so many times. So what do you think holds you back from being a director in the film industry? Like, and maybe you don't even think it's really true, but it's a thought that's in there. That's the thing about thoughts. They can be in there, but we kind of know that's not even really true, but it's still in there and it's stopping me. It's making me hesitate. So what's a thought for you that you think could be your downfall of becoming a director?
I got like a master class pass and I was watching James Cameron today, and it seems like you have to make people feel what you feel. And I'm like, how the hell will I do that? Like, I'm not even too sure about my own feelings. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just seemed like such a stretch.
That's such an insightful comment that you just made. That's so amazing. So James Cameron, who is a master and has been doing this for 30 years, is giving us, and as we watch anybody that's a master, like myself, like AJ, we're like, oh, but I don't know if I can do that, but how do you do that? But I'm not sure, if I have that ability. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Today, with our thoughts that are creating our results so far, because Fatima's a financial analyst, right? Did I get that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Financial analyst. So you've been having a lot of thoughts and thinking that goes with being a financial analyst. You show up on time, you believe you're very analytical, you have confidence in a lot of these things that you've done very well, you're paid well for what you do, you work hard, all of those thoughts. But all of the thoughts that go with the future, Fatima, being a director, having completely different skills, using some of those skills, but also having created new skills, new ways of speaking, new ways of developing characters and feelings and emotions, new ways of studying emotions. These are thoughts you simply have not had yet. That's your growth. So James Cameron gives us he's giving us like beautiful little sparkles, seeds that you take and you grow your new thoughts from that because you haven't had those thoughts yet. And you're going to grow them now. This is so exciting. This is where you will feel so alive, all of us. So we're going to produce new thoughts that we've never thought before. And in this program, it's the same thing. It's like, yeah, Janet's so free. I've worked on myself being so free too. I can be very anxious, but that comes from my thinking too. That makes me feel nervous when I'm thinking thoughts that make me feel nervous. When I feel scared, it's coming from thoughts that are scaring me. And now I get to see this. You're just, without having a self-coaching model like this, and there's a lot of great personal development out there, and I love all of it. I just love this one. I love this model because you can apply it to yourself for any problem, anything you want in your life, any result you want in your life. Like I want to be a director. How do I need to be thinking in order to become a director? I want to become a director. That's the result that I want to create, making $100,000 a year in the next 2 years. Okay, that's a pretty good goal. $100,000 director in the next 2 years. That's a lot of money because that's money that somebody's paying you to direct. Maybe you're also shooting camera. Maybe you're doing some DIT, but you're making $100,000 in value. That means you have had a lot of connections. You've been on a lot of sets. You've grown your connections. Okay, so that's the result you want, $100,000 as a director. Now, if if somebody's brains are coming up with, yeah, but boy, I'm so far away. That's just a thought that you're having today. And you're going to learn to not pay attention to that thought. I'm so far away. That's an easy thought to think. Oh man, look at James Cameron. I don't know if I have that within me. Oh, that's another thought. That thought has no upside. You can choose to watch my videos. You can choose to watch AJ, James Cameron, and make it mean something like that this is hard. Or you can watch it and make it mean, oh my God, they're giving me gold nuggets. And your brain might be like, I don't know. Okay, I don't know how to be creative. I don't know. And let your brain freak out a little bit, saying, I don't know, but then go, But Fatima, you're talking to yourself, Fatima, you do know, and you did figure it out. You are a director that makes $100,000 a year within 2 years. You did figure it out. You did learn how to do this. And then your brain is going to start coming up with new thinking it never had before. Well, maybe your brain's going to do it. Maybe I read some more books. Maybe I started thinking that I do understand what he's saying. And I'm finding evidence in the world that, oh my gosh, I do understand it. This process, which is asking our brains to think thoughts that they've never thought before, that put us into a new place fast. Ooh, guys, this is valuable. Can you feel it? It's tricky to get in the habit of asking ourselves when we don't know the answer, to ask ourselves, yeah, but I saw the future. I saw my future self do it. I already have it. So what was I thinking that made me get that result? And you're going to be like, I don't know. It seems impossible. I don't know. And your brain is just going, it doesn't want to show you the pathway. It doesn't want to think. None of our brains want to think. It's our primitive brains. We don't want to think. We just want to be like, no, this is the way it is. Show me the way. Please, just tell me what to do. Well, unfortunately, I do tell you what to do. I do. I kind of wish I didn't, because then you would be figuring it out on your own and you would come up with something very similar. But that's okay. I show you what to do. I tell you why it all works. And so we go fast. But in addition to that, I really want to give you this ability for you to know in your soul that you can create whatever result you want with your thinking, and to practice this in your life. In a year, if you do this, your life will be unrecognizable. You will feel so different inside yourself, because nothing is going to be like unreachable or unachievable. It's like, okay, I want this result. What do I need to be thinking? What do I need to be feeling? And then I got to take action from that feeling. So I'm not going to be feeling disappointed. If I do feel disappointed, I'm be like, well, what thought is making me feel disappointed? I got too much against me. And then you're like, okay, too much against me makes me feel despair, makes me not want to do shit. And then the result is that I don't do shit. Okay, so then you look at, I got too much against me. That thought is just in there, okay? Well, just as an example. Now we want to pick away that thought. What does too much mean? What does against me mean? Is that even true? Let me look. In my life, I've actually done a lot of things. Okay. And I'm in a training to help me do it. Yes. And all these people are around me doing it too. And I love them and they love me. And I love what I'm doing. And I'm excited to grow. So there's too much against me. Yeah, I think I'm ready to get rid of that thought. There's no upside to that thought. In fact, what's actually true? What's actually true that you can choose to think? I am resourceful. Now, when you say the thought, you can say it with like that kind of certainty. Everything is against me. What's the opposite of that?
Everything works out for me.
That's so good. Everything works out for me. And when you think that thought, how do you feel? Positive, optimistic, joy, excitement. What we are not practiced doing is schooling ourselves on the emotions that are available to us. It's helpful. It's a good idea to start to expand our vocabulary. Like those words are there. We just haven't been thinking about them. Of emotions that we know are our fuel to the result that we want. So enthusiasm, everything works out for me. Feeling enthusiastic, that's going to impact everything you do. Everybody you meet, every conversation you have, everything works out for me. You show up to an event, brand ambassador event. You're not thinking, oh, I'm an introvert and I'm scared of these people, or this is not my place, or even if those thoughts pop into your mind, let them be there and just let them sit right there. We don't want to be like, damn it, don't think that. We want to go like, oh, hello, friend. You're a thought that has been in my mind for a while. Okay, hello. You're just trying to keep me safe. What if you mess up? Oh, that's a big one. Oh no, what if I mess up? Now, when your brain presents it as a question, make it a statement, because that's really what it is. What if I mess up is, I'm afraid I'm going to mess up. I'm afraid I'm going to mess up. Oh, hello, friend. Had that thought a million times. Okay. All right. So I'm going to let you atrophy, and I'm going to say, everything works out for me. And I'm going to create that thought. I'm going to choose that thought. I'm going to repeat that thought. I'm going to practice that thought. I'm going to walk down the street saying that thought. Because it makes me feel amazing. Everything works out for me. It makes me feel confident. And then that makes me devour Janet's training and go out there in the world and take action on it without thinking so much. And start to analyze my thinking so that I can produce new thinking. So I take new action, and the result is everything works out for me is you make everything work out for you. That is going to be your result. So what is your biggest problem with money?
I have a steady income now, like thinking of doing freelance. I'm just like, whoa, I'm going to be all over the place. And it's kind of scary. Do you know what I mean? Getting out of that 9-to-5 mentality.
Yeah. So what do you think is your problem with money? Like, the problem is that I'm afraid to leave my 9-to-5. What if it doesn't work out? My problem is it might not work out, and it might not be able to replace my income with film. So the problem is I might not be able to replace my income with film. How much money do you make right now?
75,000. Mm-hmm. A little bit more than that, but like around 80, 85.
Yeah. Now, I want to tell you something. That $85,000 that you are producing, that's a result that you're producing. You produce that with your thinking. Your thinking gave you the confidence, that gave you the actions that you took, the responsibility that you took, the people that you met, how you did your job to give you that result of $85,000 a year. Do you see that? Why can't you do that in the film industry? I did it there, I can do it here. I mean, film industry pays even more. Plus, there's a there's upside is huge. Financial, that can be huge too, right? But it's different. You got to spend your time Monday through Friday thinking about numbers and people and solving and problems you don't want to be thinking about, and offices and fluorescent lights. Oh my God. So, yes, your thinking, here's what you need to know. Your thinking produced 85,000. Your thinking will produce whatever it is that you want to make in the film industry. And your thinking will take you through all the obstacles and all the problems and all of the situations that you have to solve. Your thinking will take you through, and your result will be $85, $100, $200, $500,000 in the film industry. If you believe that you can, because your thinking is going to produce it. If you don't believe that you can, which we won't even go there because that's not even, that's just ridiculous to even think that. But it's worth to look at, to see like, okay, what am I thinking right now? Oh my God, I'm actually believing that I can't. Okay, I need to change that belief right away, because I can see if you believe that you can't, that it's really hard or that it's impossible, then that's the result that you're going to create. Okay, so your main problem with money is, how do I know that I'm going to be able to replace that or make that much in the film industry? So that can be a real problem. That seems like a problem. Now, we'll take that one because that's a really good one. A lot of us probably think that that's a problem, right? So here's how we deal with problems. All problems are thought problems, because the fact is, the circumstance, when we pull the facts out, is there's a film industry. It pays a lot of money. It's in your city. There are jobs that you can get. So that's the facts. How you think about it is what is impacting your result. So all problems are thought problems. Money is just money. 85 grand is just money. It's just a number. It's neutral. Some people might think that $85,000 is a lot of money. Some people might think that that's nothing. So it's just a number. It's just neutral. The thought about making the shift over into the film industry, that's what's important, because the thought is what produces your result. If you think that it's going to be hard to replace your income in the film industry, that's a thought problem. It's not a fact. Do you see that? So all money problems, all problems are thought problems. And you can choose your thoughts. See, we didn't realize that before. We just thought that it's true. But you can choose your thoughts, and you can choose what to believe, and you can choose what to repeat. Especially now that you know that thoughts create results. Now you're going to be hyper-focused and aware of what you're thinking. So if you're thinking it's hard to make money in the film industry, that's going to make you feel doubt. And then from doubt, you're going to watch videos. You're going to watch James Cameron. You're going to watch me. You're going to watch AJ. And you're going to find a lot of evidence to prove that your thought is correct. But your thought is creating the result. So the result will be that you will disempower yourself from working in the film industry, and then maybe you won't work in it, coming from your thought. So you think that the result is evidence. Oh yeah, that thought is true. It is really hard to replace my income in the film industry. But actually, your thought created it. Your thought created the results. So you have to be very aware of your thoughts, because they are creating your whole life, your whole future. In 5 years, when you're working in the film industry directing, you're not going to be even thinking the thoughts you have today. In fact, in 5 years, when you're making $200,000 in the film industry, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I remember I had a thought that I don't know how I'm going to replace my income with a financial analyst job. Well, I think I did pretty well for myself, didn't I? The thought is, I need to believe in myself. I can make twice as much money as $85,000. How does that feel? Try it on like a new outfit. How does it feel when you think that thought?
It feels a bit scary, because I feel like I can do it, but then I'm just like, how on earth will I do this? So it's kind of pushing and pulling, a little bit.
Yeah. So there's another thought in there that's giving you disbelief. So what's that thought?
I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Yeah. But how? You don't have to know how. I didn't know how. I mean, actually, you're in a program that tells you how, but I didn't know how. James Cameron didn't know how. I don't think AJ know how. None of us really know how. How is to go this way and this way and this way and this way and this way, but believing the entire time. The how you will know exactly when you were there. When you're making $200,000 as a director, you're going to be able to look back and go, oh yeah, that's how I did it. Yeah, pretty happy about that. Pretty happy with myself. Glad that I believed that I could do it. But the today is like, we think it's all like, but the how? But it's actually, that's how, what to do, that's the action line, right? See, that's the action line. So what impacts the action line? The thinking line. Because if I'm giving you the action line in this program, and I'm giving you the thinking line, but all the modules, action line. So you can get the actions. I can give them to you. And it's still not going to matter if the thinking doesn't produce implementing these actions. Do you see that? We want to know what to do. What should I do? What should I do, Janet? What should I do? And I know that I know that's what everybody's hungry for. But what I'm actually here to give you is the do, but most importantly is the thoughts, the thinking that will give you the feeling so that you can do these, you can implement so easily, knowing with such self-belief, with such certainty, with such love for yourself and belief in yourself. The result is easy. If you think it's easy, then that makes you feel excited. If you think it's easy, that makes you feel certain. And then from there, we jump into the videos. And we're like, with a feeling of certainty as I watch the video, I'm not going to be going like, oh, but I can't do that. Oh, but I'm not like that. Oh, but you're not going to be doing that. You're going to be like certainty. Like, ooh, that's interesting. Oh my God, gold nugget there. Ooh, wow, that's exciting. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to think about that again. Ooh, I'm so happy I'm doing this for myself. And then the result is when you're going to extract what you need out of these videos and you're going to take action in the world. Again, thinking, this is easy. What Janet's telling me to do, this is easy. It is so easy. Everything I'm teaching you to do is so easy. It really is.
So like my comment is like the main thing, like with artists in this industry and people in the film industry is that it's mainly unreliable, and there's like no real like security. Like if you go to law school, if you want to be a lawyer, like if you pass the bar, you're going to become a lawyer. But like for artists in the industry, like what is like the security that you like need to have in order to like feel like you're gonna make it in a sense?
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that I feel, okay, you would be an attorney, pass the bar. We probably have some attorneys here. You can pass the bar and then you can make 20 grand a year as an attorney. You can make 50 grand as attorney. And that's not such a great life. We got some attorneys in this already, right? So, and it's a thought that this is why you signed up for this program, because you think that it's so uncertain getting into this industry. It's so difficult, and there's so many people struggling, and this is your thoughts. And those thoughts are creating the result. You're making it hard for yourself. I know it's hard to you kind of get it and you kind of don't, maybe at the same time. But stick with me here in this program, and you're going to see your thoughts are going to change, because you're going to be like, oh, it's hard for most people, but it's not hard for me. Do I think the film industry is hard? So if it's not hard for Janet, then why would I choose to think that it's hard? Is there any upside to thinking that the film industry is different than other industries and that it's harder? Maybe it's a lot easier. Like you can come into it, it doesn't even matter your freaking degree. And just by being an amazing person that believes that you can have the most amazing freaking career. Because you're getting people just to believe in you. But you got to believe in yourself first. And then they're like, okay, you want to do that job? Great. But that's the way the world is too. You can be an attorney and be the hottest attorney, but you got to think you're hot. It's always going to be the case. So that's why this model is going to be very important for you, Emmanuel, to master, and everybody else here, and myself too. Have a great week, everybody. And maybe go into the self-coaching training and see what comes out of your brain, what's going on in your head. All right. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for listening. And if you want to take your career to the next level in the film industry, go to friendsinfilm.com/join. That's friendsinfilm.com/join. You can sign up for our mini course, learn about the A-list model, and then you can take it all the way and do the A-list program. So that's friendsinfilm.com/join. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day, everybody.